you like my Kubota hat, like and subscribe.
Yeah, buddy. High five. Go ahead and press the button, but here's the deal. As it's going up, you always watch all the way around. Watch the arms and make sure everything's lifting the way it's supposed to. If you ever see the tractor start to tilt or do anything funny, then stop and check things out, okay? Probably good. Now, you stand back here because this is the part that I think is a little bit dangerous when you let it back down on the stops. So you press this lever real lightly and watch the arms. And when they both grab and the pressure's gone, then you're locked in. Now, here's the next thing we're gonna do. We grab our jack stands. So we're gonna slide this right under the front here. Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. Today, me and Caden are out in the shop because Caden's gonna learn how to change the oil on the Kubota BX. And I'm gonna tell you a story that you won't believe. I'm a complete failure as a YouTube content creator because you are missing out on some of the biggest mess we have ever had here on Peaks Peak Hobby Homestead. Me and Cameron got ourselves in a mess this morning with the backhoe. And I'm gonna tell you the story of that while we do a little maintenance on this tractor.
Maybe?
What size you got?
13.
All right, you need a 14. And then you're going to raise it up closer, but you can crack your bolt loose first. Does that make sense? So take your ratchet and just take this loose, and then we'll raise this up closer once you've taken this out by hand, okay? Now, do you know which way to turn it? Put it right there, and then do the palm trick again, okay? There you go, palm hit it. There you go. All right, now that it's loose, you'll be able to turn it by hand. So raise this up, and we'll set it in about, that's good. Now you reach over the top, but understand that as soon as that comes out, it's gonna go everywhere. There you go. That way if it runs down your arm, it won't ruin your shirt. Almost got it, almost got it. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now just take the drain plug and get your rag, wipe your hand off and the drain plug. So while he's draining that, I'll start telling you my story. And that is, a couple weeks ago, Cameron dug a ditch and ran conduit to set up the electric service on his new home. It got the conduit buried, and we went to run the wire through it, and we got the wire almost all the way through it. I mean, all the way up into the box, but we couldn't pull it any further, and we didn't have enough wire to get connected. We had a mess, and it just wouldn't budge, wouldn't move. And Cameron kept telling me, man, it was like 8 degrees when I was filling that hole in, and I'm not so sure I didn't break the conduit pushing some of that frozen dirt or the big rocks in on top of that cold plastic. And I said, nah, that wouldn't have happened. We've been 2 weeks trying to figure out why we couldn't move this wire in the conduit. And it's getting crunch time. He's getting married in less than 2 weeks. The electric company still has to come out and set a pole and a transformer and all that. So it's kind of becoming an issue. And we're down to his electrical inspector is coming Monday to inspect this thing. So we had to get it done. So we got out there this morning, and it is a muddy, muddy, soggy mess. Big mess. I mean, big mess. And I thought, there's just no way we're gonna be able to dig this up. I started right out of the gate, sliding the tractor off in the ditch. Now, you know the dirt he put back in it is soft as could be because the ditch is halfway full of water too. And we literally had the tractor turned on its side. I mean, like the side of the tractor was up against the ditch, and my tires were sunk in the mud down to the frame. Total mess. We're so under the gun that I didn't intend to film anything today. So I didn't have any cameras out there to capture this. We didn't even take any pictures. We were covered in mud. I hated that I didn't get it documented, but we were in a mess. Is it about done dripping? Stick your rag back in your pocket. Take your drain plug and go ahead and put your drain plug back in, and then you'll flip the switch on your ratchet so that you can tighten it up. Had Cameron go get his truck, and this time I was in 4-wheel drive, by the way. It didn't matter because the tires weren't touching anything. But had him go get his truck, and while he did that, I worked with the outriggers and the bucket to try to get the tractor pulled up out of the mud and sitting level where we could pile some stuff underneath the tires. And maybe get a pull to get it out of there. Fortunately, I was able to reach the solid side of the ditch with the outrigger and pick the back tire up out of the ditch. We took some of his riprap, we took 2x4s, all kinds of stuff, and just piled underneath the tires of the tractor so that we could pull the tractor out with his truck. And it took us almost an hour to get it out of the ditch between trying to, hey, I wanted to tell you, you don't want to over tighten that, okay? So, how tight did you get it?
I didn't get it tight.
Didn't get it tight? Okay. So, you remember how hard it was to get loose. Try to go back about like that. And then when you're done, let me kind of feel it, okay? He's a pretty stout 9-year-old. I was afraid he's going to twist the tractor off the lift, so I better pay attention. All right, let me feel it. Oh, yeah. Plenty tight enough. Okay, we have to take the oil filter off. Come here. Come out here. I'll show you.
There.
No, that's the hydraulic filter.
No, it's
That,
right there.
That's the hydraulic filter. Come on out here. I'll show you. It's right here. See? And that, we want to, hold on. We want to get our other filter and write our hours and our date on it so that we know when it needs changed. While he is getting a marker, I'm going to lower this down. What's the date?
It's the 27th.
It is the 27th. Oh, it's Sam's birthday. Huh, I need to tell him. All right. So
You forgot your brother's birthday.
I did. All right. Write 1/27/24. Do you know how to write the date? Okay. Now we need to check the hours. You know how to do that? How do you see the number of hours that are on the tractor? Come back here and turn the key on.
That?
Yep. All we need is the 588. Next, we got to take the other filter off. Oh, and I pulled a dummy. I lowered the tractor down because I said we didn't need it up in the air anymore. But that means that we can't use our oil catch can the way that we were. So we'll have to throw this under it because it'll drip some more oil.
I know that.
So throw this underneath where the filter is down there. This filter wrench is a little bit bigger than it should be for this small a filter. So sometimes you kind of have to squeeze it to get it to bite, but it's turning. Yeah, you're doing good. One more. All right, now you'll be able to get it by hand. So we can put this away because we won't need these anymore. So while you're taking that off by hand, put these tools away. So Cameron and I got his truck over there and hooked onto the tie down points on the front of the tractor, and he would pull, we'd go until we drove off of our 2x4s and our pile of rocks, and then we would lift the tractor back up with the outriggers and the backhoe, pile some more stuff underneath the tires, rehook, and pull again until we finally got the thing out. But it was an adventure like I cannot describe. I'm not exaggerating, but I'm very disappointed that I was not able to document this and share it with you, because you really would have had a good laugh at us. We were covered in mud from head to toe when we got this thing out. Got it? All right, set your filter down in the pan and just leave the pan sitting there for right now. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up your oil here, and you're gonna get a little bit of oil and wipe it on this rubber gasket. And what that does is makes it to where it won't stick, and you'll be able to get it off next time. So that's plenty good right there. So you can take the rag here. Well, you don't need any more. Take the rag here, wipe your finger off. I was gonna say, you wanna get your hands good and clean because you're about to put this on, and you're gonna use your hands to tighten it up so they can't be slick, okay? See where you gotta go with it? Now, here's the deal. You wanna feel, when you're spinning it on there, feel the slack. And when the rubber touches the engine, then you're gonna turn it another half of a turn, okay? So feel whenever the rubber actually hits, and that's when like the slack goes out of it, you know?
There.
Okay, look at your date. So basically what you're gonna do is turn it until your numbers are upside down.
Upside down?
Yep, that's a half a turn from where you're at right now. So crank it by hand. Crank it as hard as you can. If you can't quite get it there, I'll help you. Oh, you're good. Yeah, little further, you're at a half turn. Yeah, you got it. All right, I'm gonna feel it just to make sure it feels right, okay? Good and snug. Hey. All right, now what we gotta do is put oil back in the engine, because guess what? We don't
There ain't no engine.
That's right, there ain't no oil in the engine. And if we forget to put oil back in it, then there won't be no engine.
It's just like the one thing where it's just like, I know the problem. It ain't got no gas in it.
That's right.
But
Well,
it ain't got no oil.
this one ain't got no gas in it.
What?
You know why?
Oh yeah, it's diesel.
That's right. I think Cameron's got my good funnel, so that stinks. We'll pour it until it's just a little bit left in the jug, and then we'll check it, see how it's doing. All right, you know how to check the oil. See your dipstick there? Gonna pull it out and wipe it off, and then stick it back in there. Stick it back in there and pull it back out, and you'll see where the oil level is. Sometimes you gotta kind of twist it. Make sure you push it all the way in. Okay, pull it out, hold it up straight, sideways. Looks like, yeah, we need probably another half a quart, okay? Drop her down in there. No, listen, if you're leaning it, then it'll run down the dipstick and give you a false reading. So we need just a little bit more. Push it all the way in, pull it all the way back, and hold it level. Okay? Pull it up, hold it level. Are we to the dot?
Roll over, but that's
right.
fine.
It's gonna be perfect. All right. Load her back up.
All right, Corolla time.
Well, we are gonna change the oil on the Corolla, but first, I wanna check the hydraulic fluid, and I wanna grease some grease fittings, okay? Since we've got it in here and I've just washed it off because it was a mess. I want to go ahead and grease the loader and the backhoe. Okay, so go ahead and close the hood and the grill guard there. So yeah, Cameron and I got it out of the ditch, and we were able to dig all of the conduit back up, pulled all the conduit off because it was broken, and we put new conduit and reattached it all, got it all buried. We got his electric service box hooked to the pole, and we were just getting ready to stand up the riser when our neighbor, who works for the power company, stopped by with his bucket truck and helped us put the riser on the pole, and that was a huge help. So we got it done just in time for Cameron to have to leave for work. He should be able to get his inspection on Monday, and hopefully they'll have electricity when they get married. Stick this on there until it kind of snaps in. Okay, now squeeze. And what you're gonna do is basically watch for grease to squeeze out of here. All right, see it? We're good. All right, now I'm gonna raise this up because we need to get those down inside there. But come on over here and we can get these here. Hit me. That's good. Stop. All right, guys. Well, Caden's got the tractor all serviced up and ready to roll, don't you? You gonna be a Kubota man when you get older?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna have? Big
The
tractor?
biggest tractor in the world.
The biggest tractor? What, you want like an M6060 or something like that?
No, I'm just gonna have someone make me a giant tractor.
Well, we had a good time out here. You know, it's been a good day. I mean, it was a hard day. Me and Cameron worked out in the cold and rain and mud and had a disaster, but I'm gonna tell you, the Kubota just flat does not let me down. I mean, we dug that ditch back out in soupy mud, and I gotta comment on those tires. Man, those R14s are just incredible in the mud. I was literally pushing a pile of dirt that was 3.5, 4 foot tall back into the hole while in slimy mud. It was just getting enough traction to where it was pulling the motor down. I just was super impressed with that. It was a good day. It was a fun day out in the mud, got all that done, and wanted to get out here in the shop this afternoon and show Caden how to change the oil on the tractor. And you had never used a grease gun, had you? No?
Oh, maybe once.
Yeah, he's changed the oil on the cars before, and that's what we're getting ready to do next, but we'll spare you guys that. You don't need to see an oil change on a 07 Toyota Corolla. Caden's gonna help me change that oil. So I think we're gonna call it a day. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we appreciate y'all watching. Y'all have a good day.
If you like my Kubota hat, like and subscribe.
Yeah, buddy. High five.